So two things once again. I love that there are always two things come out. One is lots of people wouldn't consider that a problem. That someone is interested in keeping their body in shape.
Right.
One thing. And the second thing I wanted to ask is, when you're talking to the bodies, are you talking to them out loud? I mean, these questions that you're asking, these realizations that people come to, are you talking to them, are you asking them verbally? And is the work you do, it's not just verbal?
Right.
Okay, so
the first question.
Okay.
The first question, one of the things that we talk about is becoming more vulnerable and becoming more willing to actually acknowledge the energy of our bodies and talk to our bodies, is to get out of judgment. So when you say people might perceive it as a good thing, you know, to be addicted to working out or to be obsessed with working out because it facilitates, you know, a certain type of fitness or being in shape.
Right.
So we look at getting out of the judgment and out of the point of view that creates that situation so that there's actually choice, so that you can actually start to ask questions on what would be fun for your body. Mm-hmm. Because if you have the point of view that in order to reach this certain type of shape or level of fitness, it means you have to have this many hours at the gym, you have to eat this certain diet. You see what I'm saying? There's not a lot of space for you in that equation. There's a lot of fixed points of view and there's a lot of conclusions that come from that. So in order for this to show up, in order for me to have a great self-esteem, in order for me to feel good about myself, this, and this has to happen based on fixed points of view.
Right.
So we're asking people to, you know, get beyond the judgment and let go of some of these points of view so that they can actually start to ask more questions and actually get in touch with their body and ask their body, okay, body, what would be fun for you? And it might not be going to the gym 6 days a week and working out twice a day for 2 hours. It may be going for a hike or going swimming or something that requires much less effort but greater results.
Okay, great. And the second question was... Right.
Which was?
Talking to, do you talk
okay, yeah.
out loud to the bodies, and what else do you do to bodies that facilitate more easily?
Right. So, everything has consciousness. The universe is conscious. There's consciousness in the trees, in the plants. Our bodies also have a consciousness. When you're willing to speak the language of energy, there is nothing that you can't receive awareness, information from. So when working with bodies, it's a matter of asking the questions, being the questions that will facilitate the awareness that that person might not be willing to have. And typically that's what happens. Like people very often identify pain, and what that is more often than not is it's an awareness that that person's not willing to have. So it shows up in their bodies trying to talk to them, and because they won't hear the whisper, it gets louder and louder. And when it gets to a certain intensity, they call it pain, and then they're looking for ways to disconnect from pain. And it's through medication, through drugs, through actually just ignoring your body or not acknowledging it. So I'm looking at reversing that cycle, so to actually become more aware of what your body's trying to communicate for you. So if there is a pain, okay, so I ask, you know, would you be willing to let go of where you've made this pain and what you think pain is, so that it opens up more space so we can talk about this and receive the awareness that your body's trying to facilitate for you. And by asking questions and be open to the energy of the body, I am willing to perceive awarenesses that will allow those things to shift in that person's body. By doing this, I've seen pains that people have had for years, chronic pain, acute pain, all kinds of pain can dissipate in seconds with the awareness that people are willing to have that their body's been trying to share with them, and just acknowledging their body in a different way.
Wow.
And that, as some people would term, is magic, and it's just functioning outside of that box.
So you do this in sessions, in groups, in classes? How do you do this?
All of the above. Right now I'm in Rome, and we've done just got done with a body class in which we do this for a group of people. And the fascinating thing about doing it with groups is the energy that one person may bring up, or what their body is trying to share with them, may also read on somebody else in the group. And so there's the possibility of everybody getting more clarity and more free of the points points of view that don't allow them to have that communion with their bodies. I also do private sessions as well, and travel around the world and do a lot of that, and coaching, facilitating, basically whatever's required, whatever people are asking for.
Okay, so how do people find you? Website?
Probably the easiest way is to go on accessconsciousness.com and look for facilitators, and I'm one of the Access facilitators on there. You can click on my picture, look at my schedule, and get my contact information that way. I'm in the process of, building some blogs and on Facebook, things like that, trying to, make myself a greater invitation. So.
Great. Okay. Can you say ciao Italia?
Ciao Italia, grazie.